He's great. I love Aaron. He's great. Yeah. Oh yeah, we have Marisha joining us next.
What is this drip?
Hello.
Oh, you too.
Always. You look good as well.
Thank you.
But I mean, that's hard to compete with.
Which one of us looks better?
Look, it's Creator Clash. We're all winners here.
Is that?
She's being nice.
I mean,
Well,
only one winner.
You know, maybe, I mean, I'm close, right?
yeah, you're close.
Oh, sick.
You're close.
That's all I can ask
Close,
for.
yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So day after, how do you feel?
I feel great.
Really?
I really do. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's like the question of the night, right? It's like,
Yeah.
how do you feel? But both, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a little sore. My nose is a little tender. But emotionally and mentally,
Perfect.
I feel fucking awesome.
That's
I feel
awesome.
great.
That is great.
Yeah.
So how did you feel going in the ring here? I mean, this isn't you,
Oh my God, you have playback. Look
there
at
it
this
is.
shit.
Yeah, we got highlights. We're
Oh
high
my
tech
God.
here.
So high tech. I mean, it was such a blur. Yeah, she got a good shot there. Yeah, that's good.
That was a crazy fight.
It was a crazy fight. You know, I had my own little ego death like 3 weeks before the fight, and it kind of became less for me about winning and more about just wanting to make sure that I left everything that I had in the ring
There you
and that
go.
I walked out like I wanted to walk out of that ring knowing that like I gave it 100%, 110%,
Yeah.
and not feeling
Yeah.
like, oh, I could have done more, or
Yeah.
I wish I wouldn't have tapped out, or
Yeah.
why did I do any of these things, you know, so.
Yeah, doing your best is the biggest win, to be honest.
Exactly.
Because if you go out there, you get better. You're doing this great, big, awesome thing for charity. It's an amazing opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody killed it. So how did what's your athletic background? Like, did you play sports growing up? Or?
So I was actually a dancer, and
Really?
I did competitive dance all through like as a kid, all the way up into high school, which I was
Okay.
captain of my dance team.
Nice.
So competitive dance there. So like even fighting Haley, it was very wild and surreal because she's a young content creator, burgeoning content creator with a dance background
Yeah.
from the South. So it was kind of like fighting a younger version of myself.
The younger version of yourself who had
Yeah.
competed in it last year.
Who had competed in it last year,
Yeah.
which is the leg up that she had on me. But you know, I just kind of was convincing myself. It's like, well, even if she wins, it's still like a victory for me, right?
Right.
You just live vicariously through her.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but
You
no,
did such a good job, though, because we were joking after you left that her face in the picture that they used for the weigh-in comparisons, she looks so young and innocent and cute, and it's like her face is not punchable. How is it? Like a little sister vibe.
100%. Oh, and actually, I have a little sister who is the same age as Haley. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be like punching my little
Yes.
sister. But also because she's just so sweet, so charming, and Haley is just so lovely, I think that's why I felt like I kind of had to lean into the heel
Yeah.
role a little bit. I'm like, look, if I'm fighting Haley, there's no way I can't be the villain in this story.
See, this is why you're good at what you do. It's like, okay, like this is what I want to do, but like if we're building a story out of this, you know, like let's make this interesting.
100%.
Yeah.
Like that's what I love about boxing and like and just any type of like fighting or versus contact sports is like when I look at it at like a 1,000 foot view,
Yeah.
it is still a narrative that's unfolding.
Yep.
You know, you have your hero that you're rooting for. A lot of times there is a heel or a villain
Yeah.
or someone like with Haley where, I felt like the heel in her redemption arc.
Right,
and
right.
and I love that story.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wanted to lean into that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so
You
cool.
took it easy on her.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna say
We won't
that.
tell anyone, though. It's okay. It's okay.
I don't know about that. But yeah. So you took it.
So for you, the whole training process, when did it start? How long were you training before the actual fight itself?
So I started training in September.
Oh, wow, okay.
September 12th was actually my day that I started training.
Okay.
That date is burnt into my brain, and I actually had a little like a countdown widget on my phone that was counting down the days. And when I installed that widget, I had 210 days. And then so like the morning of the fight when it was like Creator Clash today, I was like, oh my God, there's 200. There's 210 days on this when I started.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was
That
it.
is
I
awesome.
grinded for 6-7 months.
That's
An incredible journey. What was the hardest part of training for you?
I think it was you anticipate the physical challenges and just how physically wrecked and exhausted you're going to be. But I think it was like the mental ones and the emotional ones. And like boxing is like a deeply emotional sport.
Yeah.
Not just because you're getting hit in the face, but because you can get so hard on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, one of the fighters in the gym that I train at, they were like, at the end of the day, the main opponent that you're fighting against is yourself.
Yeah, no
and
doubt.
That's 100% true.
No doubt.
And it took me a while to kind of figure that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, but it's just what a great metaphor just for life.
Yeah, for real. Speaking of all the emotions and everything going through, just one more question.
Yeah.
We met your dad last night. He was obviously very supportive. So how was that for you? Like just as far as like your family and everybody else involved, and obviously your dad, Matt, everybody else. Like what kind of a role did they play?
I mean, I literally couldn't have done this without the support of my friends, my family, my fan base, the everyone that I work with. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional talking about it. It really is true that like their belief, everyone's belief in me is what made me believe in myself. And
Absolutely.
I mean, this is one of the hardest things I've ever done, and I truly do not think I could have gotten through it without just such an immense support structure.
Yeah.
And
that's awesome.
I'll never take that for granted or never forget that.
That's awesome.
It's been incredible.
That is so awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming to talk to us, Marisha.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks for everything.
Hey, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
Bring on the man, the myth, the legend.